I know some of you guys think Kid is a bum. At one point, I thought Kid was a bum as well. I think I figured out 3 ways in which Kid can win. Well, I don't know if I figured out 3 ways, but these are 3 ways in which Kid can actually overcome Shanks. And these would actually be considered W's considering the stark difference in which we think Kid and Shanks have. You've heard this before. At this point, probably wondering what's going on. Well, in the midst of recording, this ant, I swear it was the size of Maryland, pulled up in the office and I'm just there wondering what the hell is going on. At first, I thought it was a little bug, but when I realized the size of it, I had to square up and say, yo, I'm not going out like that, especially not on camera. If he saw the size of this thing, and because the room was dimly lit, he got lost in the light and I couldn't find him until the end. So stay tuned. Anyway, Kid is not in a great situation. He's currently going up against who a lot of people feel like is the strongest character in One Piece right now. Or at least I think so. And he's going up against his fleets as well, and Dorian Brogy. I know we don't think much of Dorian Brogy. Like, the giant stock, it's not that high considering what happened to someone like Hazrudin. He got annihilated by Luffy in Gear Second. But the Giants are really powerful. They have the strongest army, and so I think Dorian Brogy back then gave us a Big Mom level attack, a Yonko caliber attack back then in Little Garden. So they are to be respected. So Kid should really have no chance. But what are the 3 ways in which Kid can win? The first way is just by subbing to B.D.A. You guys probably saw that coming. All right, we'll try that again later. The first way Kid can actually win is by unlocking Advanced Conquerors. Unlocking Advanced Conquerors and just completely overwhelming Shanks and winning. Just basically through a power boost that only the MC normally gets. But I think that's the most unlikely option considering he hasn't shown any semblance of hockey in the actual story in real time, or Conquerors hockey, I should say. Have we ever seen armament from Kid or even observation hockey? This realization sent me spiraling. From my calculations, with Kid currently being the top 20 strongest character in One Piece, I was confused. I was wondering exactly how did Kid manage to get through the story without having observation armament or conquerors or showing it at all. I was determined to find it. I went through every single chapter of One Piece that Kid was in. I didn't go pre-time skip because that wouldn't make sense, so let's go post-time skip. Alas, in the actual story, there was no indication that Kid has ever used armament, but there was indication that he used observation hockey. Kid and Law could not sense Luffy's voice anymore. I found an example, but then I was dumbstruck. Useless Captain Kid managed to make it all the way to 3 billion berry without one time in battle using observation, armament, or conquerors. This led me to my first conclusion.
This nigga is trash.
Imagine Kid unlocks hockey versus Shanks. Before I knew this is where the story was going, I didn't have this opinion. Because this is where the story is going, my opinion has changed. And that's Kid being stronger than Ben Beckman. I do not think Oda will have Kid face off against Shanks again, and then have Kid be weaker than his right hand. It's just, narratively doesn't make sense. Logically, I'm like, Benny should still be stronger, but I think Kid is stronger than Ben Beckman. That's why I think he will actually reach Shanks this time. So the first way, like I stated, unlocking conquerors, using armament, advanced conquerors, coding, all that, and then he'd probably have a chance. Somewhat. Just overwhelming Shanks in a Davy back fight. Y'all really thought that I was gonna say Kid even unlocking advanced conquerors armament, whatever the hell he unlocks, and defeat a hockey god? He could eat an angel fruit. At no point is Kid ready for that kind of smoke, right? What? Y'all hear him? I'ma get him. I'ma get him. In regards to Kid unlocking armament or observation or advanced conquerors, there's probably a 1% chance of that happening and him overwhelming Shanks. But here's random Kid trivia to even support the Davy back fight. If I asked you to name Kid pirates, the average One Piece fan or the average One Piece manga reader could probably name you 4. And that's Kid, Killer, Heat, and Wire. But as far as known Kid pirates, there are actually 22. And by the end of this video, you will know the names of all of them. Here are 5 more: Dive, UK, Pomp, Bubblegum, and Rock. Now you may be asking, why the heck is Brago telling us about the names of the Kid pirates? We don't care about them. Once I reveal the names of all of them, you will understand why the first point in the Davy back fight makes a ton of sense. Stay tuned. The second way, Kid somehow completes the hostage situation better than the bandit did in the first chapter. Basically, it seems like Shanks is trying to minimize damage in Elbaf. So for him, he's like, well, if Kid takes hostage of one or a couple crewmates or even the little boy that was in the bar, I think that'd be pretty significant in regards to Shanks leaving Elbaf, because Kid's goal is not to really fight Shanks. I know, for Kid, that seems like completely out of the realm of Bro, show yourself. It's like a flying ant or something. I'll find him. I'm gonna find him. Based on Kid's personality, it doesn't seem like it's something that's possible. It's something that's actually plausible. He has the mentality of, well, a kid. Him using strategy to technically get the W, that'd be more so Killer's idea. And the last time he took Killer's advice, he was folded in a cage, so he might not take that advice. But I think option 3 is probably the best way Kid can get out of this, and it makes a lot of sense. So option 3 is random kid trivia time. Last time I told you the name of the first 5 pirates. Can you name those 5 pirates? You probably can't. But here's the next 5. House, Boogie, Mosh, Hip, and Pappas. Kid can somehow manipulate his metal to look like the sea beast from chapter 1. I'm not serious. I'm joking. That is not option 3. Option 3 is actually Kid getting the help of the Elbaf Giants. Like, yeah and no, so we can't really use that to classify. But then the question you're asking, well, why would the Giants care about Kid versus Shanks? That's a good question. The first thing about the Elbaf Giants that we know, and one of the main things that we know, is that they do not with Big Mom. Why they don't with Big Mom? Well, first off, she had a planned wedding. That didn't work out, right? To combine forces and somehow become the pirate queen. So that was the goal at the end of the day. Didn't work out. Secondly, everything that happened in Elbaf where she basically destroyed a village and she was a young monster, so they don't like her. But how does that connect them to Kid? Well, Kid recently went viral for destroying or taking down Big Mom and Kaido. So if Kid is now in Elbaf, right, of course it's the island of warriors and war. That's what they enjoy. And this mighty warrior that took down not really your nemesis but just a chick you don't mess with, they're gonna be like, you know what, let's help the young fella out. And just here comes a few giants or an army of giants. They're like, all right, Shanks, we're not gonna let you beat up on these young saplings, okay? We're not gonna let you uproot them before they sprout, okay? I'm just saying, hey, that's what Shanks said to Greenbow. You know, they're just gonna use it against him. I think those are the only 3 ways Kid can win, and all 3 are unlikely considering what Kid is up against. Random kid trivia time. The last 7 we're gonna name is Jaguar, Quincy, Moe, Hop, Emma, Compo, and Disc J. Yes, Kid has members on his crew named Hip and Hop. So based on Kid's crew and the layout, more than likely it's a rock band type vibe they're going for. And if you have rock, house, boogie, mosh, hip hop, Disc J, and Gig, the last character to complete this illustrious crew, why not give him Rockstar as well, right? So Kid in some way, he abducts or Davy backs Rockstar and he completes his crew by having a totally chill vibe where most of his crew, their names essentially means music. Isn't that crazy? People always ask me, what do I want versus what do I think is gonna happen? I want Kid to put on a decent showing so that he's not clowned for the rest of the year. Even though I'm a huge Shanks stan, maybe some of you guys haven't heard this already, okay? But keep it between us. I had the opinion back then, or for a while now, that Shanks is pretty much on the level of Roger. I know, it may seem crazy. I know a lot of people feel like the old guard is miles away from the newcomers. That's just not how progression works. I think the new guys are much closer to the old guys than we think. We just don't have the feats to match it up with. Quality versus quantity, Roger was going up against Whitebeard and Shiki and Garp and Sengoku, and today, well, the Yonko are going up against each other with Kaido, Big Mom, Shanks, even Whitebeard for a period of time. But then they have more organization with the admirals, and you can include the revolutionaries and now Cross Guild. It's either way, that's not the argument we're trying to make today. We were trying to talk about how Kid could beat Shanks, even though I don't think it's possible. I really don't, unless something comes in, some interruption rarely comes and Shanks walks away because of reputation. I don't know. Either way, guys, give me your thoughts. How does Kid win? Does Kid have a chance? Is there any way possible Akagami Kid I shouldn't say that, that's kind of disrespectful. Is there any way possible Kid could walk out of this alive? Can Kid walk out of this situation with his other arm? Because if he can't, then, well. But that's about it for me, guys. Thank you so much to my patrons. Thank you so much to my members. Gotcha. Tell him stop playing with me. Thank you to my members. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.